What's up, YouTube? Let's make sure my sound is all good. Alright guys, it is BrackCast number 48. Let's make sure this is muted. And today we're going to talk about deepfake and identity theft. This was Deji's idea for this week. He should be joining us soon. I'm just going to go over the link he shared so that we can kind of understand the context of today's subject. So, I'm just going to lower this down a little bit. It's a bit loud for me. Okay. Could probably lower the volume a little bit more. Here we go. So, here is the link that we were talking about. It turns out Trudeau wasn't snubbed by Bolsonaro. National Observer. I don't know. I wonder if National Observer is like National Enquirer, you know? If it's a tabloid. I'm actually not sure. So, let's read it. Let's just read it anyway. July 5th, 2019. That's a long time ago. But okay. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau shakes hands with Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro before the start of a plenary session at the G20 summit in Osaka, Japan. As the federal election draws near, National Observer is committed to bringing you... Okay, yeah. This edition includes a viral video of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau at the G20 summit, a scandal-plagued robocall firm implicated in a mysterious mass text messaging campaign, signs of foreign interference targeting Canada's election, evidence that Russia's 2016 influence operation may have boosted support for Donald Trump, not so great results from an external audit of Facebook, and more. Edited video of Trudeau. Global News shared a video late last week that appeared to show Prime Minister Justin Trudeau being snubbed by Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro at the G20 summit in Osaka, Japan. Trudeau was seen motioning to Bolsonaro only to watch as the Brazilian president turned his back, seemingly giving Trudeau the cold shoulder and ignoring his attempt at a handshake. The clip ended at that point. Okay. Initially, Global's caption and related coverage did not mention the apparent snub, but many others on Twitter were quick to seize on an opportunity to ridicule the Prime Minister. The account for conservative advocacy... Let's continue reading this. The account... for conservative advocacy group Canada Proud was one of many to share the video with a caption focusing on Trudeau's apparent rejection and awkwardness on the global stage. The video was eventually shared in Canada by pundits and mainstream news outlets alike, as well as by international newspapers, prompting comments such as "Trudeau is a walking embarrassment, no one gives a shit about Justin from Canada, poor Justin from Canada, pathetic." Notably, Russian propaganda outlet Sputnik News also weighed in on the viral video, as did the Spanish-language version of RT, formerly known as Russia Today. Hold on there.
Yo.
What's up, man? I'm just reading your link as an example for.
Yeah, thank you.
So I'm trying to get caught up on it too. So let's see here. Formerly known as Russia Today, both Kremlin-funded outlets pushed the widespread narrative suggesting that Trudeau had been snubbed. The only problem? The incident never happened. At least, not the way it was depicted in the viral video, which edited out the part where Bolsonaro turned back to Trudeau and embraced him a moment later. As it turns out, Trudeau was motioning to Bolsonaro to direct his attention to another person waiting to greet him. He wasn't rejected or snubbed, and the full unedited video makes that clear. Oh, let's watch the video, guys. And here's the accurate picture.
Please look in the direction of the photographer in front of the flag.
It looks like he was handshaking, but yeah, I guess he was pointing.
Leaders sitting near the other side, please look to the back in the direction of the photographers in front of the flag.
There's back.
では、股の前
I see. Okay. Human mind is the weakest link. I see. Okay, so just a means of just like portraying something, clip it. Yeah, it's what there's a term for that. It happens a lot with like podcasts and like Twitch live streams where out of context. Yeah, there's like context clips of stuff. So it sounds like that. Okay, so this kind of influenced or not inspired you to talk about deepfake today? Like, what's up?
So this, as well as this Tom Cruise impersonator that I've been seeing running around.
Oh wait, he's just on the streets though, right?
Sorry?
He just goes on the streets though, right?
The Tom Cruise impersonator?
Yeah.
So like the first I heard of this video is just seeing like some random video on Instagram of Tom Cruise like saying some random shit as well as like playing a guitar. And I was like, this is really random for Tom Cruise to be doing, but this really looks like Tom Cruise. Right. Then I found out that it wasn't Tom Cruise. It was just this guy that was doing deepfake impersonations of Tom Cruise. And I was like, yeah. So that's what that's called when like digitally altered.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But I know of another guy who went viral online. I guess not too. I'm pretty sure this was within the last year or so, where he really looks like Tom Cruise though. Like he's a doppelganger, and then he'd go out on the streets wearing the leather jacket and the shades, and he'd take photos with people claiming to be him, and then he would just I don't think they pay him, but he goes out there for the fame part, and everyone like goes nuts trying to take selfies with him and stuff. I don't know if that's the same guy.
No, this is a different guy. This guy is like, because everything is like it's just videos that he uploads.
Yeah.
And then he has some like AI guy like do the deepfake.
Okay.
Deepfake stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find you a link.
Yeah, I can share it up here too.
Miles Fisher.
Miles Fisher.
That's the guy.
Miles Fisher, Tom Cruise. Let's see one of his videos. Oh, it's on The Verge. Okay. It's only a minute, so let's check this out. If the link works. Person behind the viral Tom Cruise deepfake. Okay. Okay, let's see this.
In this reel, you're going to see my amigo, Chris Umi. He's going to introduce to you the wonderful world of deepfakes.
Okay,
how AI and VFX are unlocking the future of our imagination.
Oh, okay, because that wasn't him yet. Okay, hold on.
What's up, TikTok?
Wow.
You guys cool if I play some sports?
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Okay, the tracking is there. Okay, you can see the oh, then he smoothens it out. Oh, he cleans it up too.
Yeah, this shit threw me the fuck off, yo. I was like, why's Tom Cruise doing this? Like, I was legit confused for like 20 minutes.
But his voice is definitely different, right? Like,
nah. I didn't know.
Did they change his voice too? No.
I don't know. I couldn't tell the difference.
I think there's bubblegum inside this.
I could not tell the difference.
That's incredible. How come nobody ever told me there's bubblegum?
Very
incredible.
Creepy to me. You know?
Okay.
It's just like this is when we start getting into spooky conversations about someone's likeness.
Yeah.
You know? And like how people are selling their likeness.
They are? Like is that a thing now?
Yeah, I mean, like in entertainment especially, like
You think you can
People,
commoditize that
celebrities.
stuff? Well, I know like
Yeah.
stunt doubles get paid for the likeness, right?
Yeah,
But
but I mean, in terms of like putting your face on a product, stuff like that. Like
yeah,
people have sold those rights to companies and shit to do
yes,
whatever they want.
yeah, the Brad Pitts and the Leonardo DiCaprios and
So it's like
even
this
Schreiber.
technology. This technology right now is at a point in time where what we're seeing it being used for is still relatively considered like, you know, good or like, you know, not harmful or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the other side of that going to be?
Well, it's gonna
Yeah.
get better, you know. Like the first ones I can kind of remember where it's more on a mass scale, not like, you know, this is a lot of production work. Obviously, it's not that readily available yet for the mass, but
Yeah.
it's close because Snapchat was the first one to do the really, really good facial recognition. And that's when I started seeing, you know, like the Kim Kardashian fakes. Like they would, it would just be for comedy. They'd pretend to be Kim Kardashian and then they'd post like a script. What was her name? Something Clary? I think it was like, is it Laura Clary? I think I'm getting her first name wrong. But yeah, she has like a whole series where she pretends to be the whole Kardashian family because each face is on Snapchat, and then she did the shorts. She did these comedic shorts. It was great. It was a really funny content. But yeah, I can see it eventually being used for evil, like actual, you know, defamatory. Is that the word? Defamation
Yeah.
type of things where they'll just put up fake videos of people saying the wrong stuff, like saying some racial stuff or something, or like some what's the word? Discriminatory things, you know, especially in politics for sure. But I can see people like influencers doing that eventually, you know.
Which, and that was my original concern with you know, that was the reason I sent you that video. Because when I first saw that video, it was just posted on Twitter as Trudeau has no respect. And so I was watching it and I was like, God damn, they don't like this motherfucker. Because like the context of the video is, yo, this guy just turned around and snubbed him. And so that's already been widespread, like by thousands and hundreds of thousands of accounts, right? And it wasn't until I scrolled down that I saw someone just posted, oh, this video was doctored. Here was the real video.
Yeah.
And then I watched the real video and I was like, oh shit. So there's already like widespread mass misinformation just off the strength of like someone cutting out an extra 2 seconds. What's going to happen when people start deliberately like impersonating celebrities, you know, politicians for like negative reasons, and it's done by like the opposition, like another country or something? How are you going to be able to, you know, determine what's real and what's not?
I'm pretty sure it's been done.
Oh, for sure.
Like, it reminds me, do you remember The Simpsons where Homer was being interviewed by a newscast, and he's like in this chair in this office, and there's a clock behind him. There's like an analog clock behind him, and they ask him questions about candy, and he answers candy like he's very like, oh, I love candy, sweet, that can, whatever. And then he's been kind of like not charged, but people suspect him of like pedophilia.
Oh, what?
So they doctor the video in the interview where you can see the analog clock changing back and forth because they're just changing his words to say like, I want that sweet can, sweet. Actually, it wasn't pedophilia. I'm sorry. Yeah. It was just sexual assault towards like a younger woman or something like that in like the workplace. And then at the end, like they freeze frame him when he's like drooling for candy. They freeze frame it and then they just zoom in slowly on it, and they're like, "Mr. Simpson, no, stay away, stay away." Do you remember the clip?
I haven't seen that, but that's hilarious.
I'm just gonna do Simpsons Homer interview assault.
That's fucking hilarious.
There it is. I'll have it on the stream. You want to see it?
Yeah, 1 second. Log into this shit.
Okay, yeah. So he hired a babysitter, and I think maybe he was like reaching over. Oh yeah, so he drives the babysitter home, and like she's like leaving the car, and he starts to reach over her, and it looks like he's reaching towards her. But as soon as she gets out of the car, he's reaching for a piece of candy that's on the ground, like a piece of candy that was on the floor. But that girl accuses him of almost sexually assaulting her. So this is the interview. Let me put that here. This is hilarious.
But first, she was a university honors student who devoted her life to kids until the night a grossly overweight pervert named Homer Simpson gave her a crash course in depravity, babysitter, and the beast.
Aw, crap. Somebody had to take the babysitter home. Then I noticed she was sitting on her sweet can. I grabbed her sweet can. Oh, just thinking about her can. I just wish I had her sweet can.
So, Mr. Simpson, you admit you grabbed her can. What do you have to say in your defense? Mr. Simpson, your silence will only incriminate you further. No, Mr. Simpson, don't take your anger out on me. Get back, get back! Mr. Simpson, no! Dramatization may not have happened.
What?
So yeah,
Oh my
obviously I
God.
think that's been done in the past already, where the only defense you have is the footage, right? So like streamers, a lot of people do this out of context stuff against streamers. Like there's this guy named Dr. K, and he has like, I think there's people who just kind of regularly post content about him saying something out of context, which they could twist to make him look like an asshole. But it's funny because he's not worried about it, because it just adds more like reach and like attention and promotion for his channel. But if you see the original stream, that's obviously out of context. He has proof there. It's available, right?
Yeah, like even when you say that now, I just think about the way that these things are designed, because like a lot of major news outlets now, their headlines aren't necessarily true. It's more clickbaity, like, okay, let's post this ambiguous headline so we can get the clicks to the article, then maybe we'll straighten it out in the article.
Right.
Or they'll post clips out of context already. Like news outlets already have, like you were saying, this is already being done.
Yeah.
So it's like when the technology gets to a point where it's seamless, if this is being done now, what's going to happen then? You know, that's kind of my goal. Like that's my question. You know,
what worries me, I mean, it's only going to get better, and it's only going to get more widespread, right? And that's why I mentioned identity theft here, because like, have you seen, like facial recognition on phones to unlock your phone?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh,
so
man.
I've seen the first parts. Apparently that it doesn't really work anymore. But if you take a photo and you show the facial recognition, it'll unlock the phone with a photo. But
really,
yeah. But then they figured out, okay, photo doesn't work as well. And then people started using video, like facial recognition using a video. You just put another phone playing the video on the phone, it unlocks the phone. And yeah, with deepfake, I mean, that's only going to get better, right? Because then you don't even need... Well, the thing is, I think for deepfake to work, you need a huge bank of like information of the person's face in many different angles. That's why Tom Cruise is easy to do. He's got so many movies, he's got so many photos out there. Yeah. So it's easy to map out his face in a lot of different directions. They probably have like this huge resource bank of information that they base the deepfake on to do the program, to do the software, right?
Yeah, what the designer was saying, he just basically mapped. Yeah, it was in the video. He just basically mapped thousands of stills of Tom's face.
Right. Yeah, and the software just kind of like stitches it all together to this like 3D model. And you put it on the guy, you map out the pupils and all that. Yeah, it's only going to get easier and predictive. Like, so, yeah, do you have another point for that?
No. I was just, yeah. No, go ahead.
I was gonna take it to like Photoshop now, right?
Okay.
I remember when I started photography, I was like anti Photoshop. I was like, I want to show my work straight out of the camera to show my skills, to show like how good I am.
Yeah.
But it was
Same.
film. It was film at the time, so obviously there's still developing process in the dark room. There's still developing process with the developer and all that stuff. So the finishing photo is still not really just what I took out of the camera, and the camera itself has different software, reads the light meter, makes a difference with the color.
Yeah.
And then now everything's digital. There's processing and enhancing in the cameras already too. So now I've become very much adopted to like editing. I don't use straight up filters anymore. I definitely like tweak out adjustments of everything personally on my own personal taste. But that's accepted now. Like it's still, you can put up a photo which you took in a certain way, and then the finished product doesn't look like anything to how the original like live capture looked like. It looks completely different, but it's still not just appreciated, but like it's still highly evaluated or highly regarded because it's a good piece of work. Like it took creativity and whatever. Anyway, originality authenticity to an image used to be higher value, but now it's more like how good can you really make that image look at the end.
Yeah.
So where am I going with that is like Instagram models, right?
Okay.
Where you even have on the phone, it's built in, you could like smoothen the skin, you can thin out the jawbones and like
know that.
right? And yeah, you can make your eyes bigger. But since it's not like all done in quote unquote Photoshop, people are like, oh, it's just a little bit of like, a little tweak on my phone. I'm not doing anything, so they kind of validate the fact that it's them, but it's not really them. There's Instagram accounts where like all, if not the majority, if not all the photos in that account do not look like the person, like in real life, if you were to see them in real life. And yet they've built up enough following where they are like influencers. Like, I don't know if they can get verified that way though. Like, I don't know if you can verify if you enhance every one of your images, but you got like, I'm talking about like tens of thousands of followers, right?
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know. It's becoming accepted now that you could be fake professionally on a daily basis and be accepted.
My thinking in all of this was like you said, yeah, this is this is the norm now. This is like part of the culture. Like the whole individuality aspect of things is not really present anymore. Like I was saying, like right now it's all about how many followers one has, or who one is following, or what somebody's retweeting, or what somebody is liking. It's all just rehashings of another person's preferences on your page, So it's like we're all just in this sort of crazy echo chamber. And
I like that echo chamber.
Yeah.
I was thinking something like, yeah.
And it's almost like encouraged, not to have like free thought. It's almost like, yeah, let's follow the crowd. Let's we all think this way. It's like this weird group thing happening. So
one thing I also noticed is just like the success of Instagram accounts that just repost other people's stuff.
Bruh.
I hate that, honestly. And I mean, I'm not saying I don't partake in that, because I see what other people share. More likely than not, I will look at the source. I will check the comment, and if they tag the original poster and I like the content, I will go to the original, and that's what I'm going to share on mine to like, hey guys, check out this post from this guy. It's funny or whatever. But we have that funnies chat in Instagram, right? Where we just share a bunch of stuff. Like half, if not more than half the stuff on there are pages that repost other people's stuff. And like sure, they tag the original guy, right? But the original guy isn't the one getting the followers. It's this repost page.
Yeah.
Memes are, or you know, World
Yeah.
Star, all these things.
And
Even snowboarding, man, or like any genre of things. People are just reposting other people's things, and because the collection is nice,
Yeah.
you know.
I want to say like for some pages like it's dope because there's like a curation because they curate that content stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so like pages like that, I'm like, oh, yo, this is dope. It's like, for example, you always see all these like so I guess it's kind of the same thing. Like I follow this like best dance official page, and all they do is like they're massive page, but they just collect videos that people submit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they post them, and like people try to get on that page. So I think that's a little bit different than just taking like crazy content and then just reposting it on your page and saying like, oh, repost from blah 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 hashtag, and then, like you just have like a whole bunch of like mass following of people that just like mindlessly scroll through your reposts.
Well, I just hate especially when they don't credit the original creator. And then I read the comments and everyone's like, you know, you should have posted this is from this person, like, you know, this is this person, and what they'll do in their caption is like, I don't know the original creator, please comment below who it is, right? So then you get the engagement of the comments. And man, the algorithm with the comments, dude, like some of these, I've come across more and more of these like just sexy girl accounts, or where like you have to follow this person in order for them to accept that you follow, you got to follow this other person, and then it's like a chain link of just follow this, follow this, follow this.
Dude.
And then at the end, each like the actual person will be like, comment below the word fire, but make sure you only put one letter per comment. So you have to put F and then I and then R and then E. So every person, and then if you do that, I'll send you a DM of something. Like I'll shout you out on a DM or something. And it's so then all these, you know, thirsty like simps or whatever will do that, and they'll have these long chain of comments which have nothing, like there's just like no substance. But now that post has what, like thousands of comments now on it, and then likes and stuff. So then it's messing up the algorithm. People are figuring out how to
jerk the system.
Man, when Instagram, I think I started on Instagram in like 2010. I think that's when I started. I was late. I was definitely late on the Instagram train. I guess some people might think that's still early, but back then, if you had like 100 followers, about 40 to 50% of your followers will actually engage your stuff. Nowadays, it's less than 10%.
If that, what?
Actually, yeah, it's way less. Now. I think it became norm maybe the following 3 to 5 years after I started. The norm was 10%, and now it's getting less and less.
Right, like
unless you have like, you know, unless you're a big name.
Even like for the big names, because there's an artist that I follow. She has like maybe a couple thousand followers, and she'll consistently post tweets like blasting Instagram like, yo, how do I have so and so 1,000 followers yet 92 people see my story, like consistently?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, shit is weird, man. That whole system is fucked up.
Well, it used to be every person you follow shows up on your feed, and then you end up with like, you know, eventually people following way too many people, and your feed is just enormous. So then Instagram, without even asking, we're just like, you know what, let's just filter it out. Let's just randomize it. And then eventually you don't see half of the people you follow unless you actively go there and like you check it out, or you click the check mark, or you like there's this extra step now to make sure that you see every one of their posts, right? A close friend or something.
Is it post notifications?
Yeah, probably that too. Push notifications, post
Or
notifications.
push notifications.
On top of that too, with the you mentioned like this echo chamber too. In a different sense, plastic surgery, man. I don't know what it is, but I mean I'm on the apps, right? So there's a lot of swiping, and over time, I do see a lot of these accounts really just Instagram models or whatever, just trying to get on the app so that they can get more followers. Like it's clear. It's clear they don't need to be on the apps. They're not on there for
It's
the
fun.
use of it's just to get more followers.
I remember a few years ago, like this is when I was living in Hamilton. I was randomly just randomly talking to someone on one of those apps, just out of curiosity, because a lot of times, like I feel like when you swipe on those apps, like it's just like to match people, and then like no one talks. But I remember in this conversation, because the way this person's profile was set up was very like everything was directed toward her social media. So I was like asking her about it. I was like, "Yo, so why are people doing this now?" Because I didn't get it. And she's like, "Oh, this is how girls get mad followers now." She's like, "Yeah, I've been doing this, and I got like 400 followers a day." And I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
They figured it out, you know. So yeah, man.
Well, it's not that it's if you're attractive and you have that product, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot, like, you know, I do think males, generally men, are just a lot more visual, where that's all they want. They just want the visual, right? So they'll just consume that. If a guy does that, it's a lot less likely, you know, to
for sure
to develop that kind of following. Yeah.
What?
So, but what I was trying to say in terms of like the plastic surgery thing too, man, like it looks like everyone wants to look the same. Like post op, everyone looks the same. There's like this look, and it's like, yeah, individuality isn't, or this it's not even a thing anymore. Everyone just wants the same nose, the same lips, the same cheeks,
contour,
the same, man.
I mean, so like, because how I feel about that sort of stuff is like, okay, that's like woman's business, but you know, there's definitely a very common status quo look now, you know, and it's the same look. That's like very evident, because there's been some times where I'll just like look at some people and I'm like, yo, I've seen your face 100 times. Like, like what you've done with your face, I literally see it like every day on everyone else, you know, which is weird, because I don't know if that's something that used to be different, or we're just like noticing it now. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
You know what? It's probably that it's always existed, where there were icons that people wanted to look like. The only difference now is just our access to a wider range of people. Like we're just able to see and consume more individuals because of social media. But they were always there. It's just now we can see them. Now we can see them internationally, you know? Yeah. Just look up hashtag whatever it is. Hashtag contour, or hashtag, you know, cute girl.
I was thinking about so I was thinking about that for like women, right? But then I wondered, like, what's the male trend thing that everyone is doing that you would say like guys are notorious for?
I don't know. Do you have one? Do you have an idea? I still see like it's not like one look. Obviously not all women have one look too. It's just, I guess it's all depending on like what photo I might have liked last and what hashtag that photo had. Then that's what I start getting a whole bunch of in my suggested feed, right? But I mean, I see different, you know, the K-pop, that there's that look, like this Asian kind of urban
Okay.
urban Asian hip hop look, but then you get the gym look. It's just about fitness, really, you know. I don't know.
You
I
mean
mean,
for guys,
the
eh?
beard was a thing, right? Remember the beard was just a big man bun beard. That was like a big trend for a good couple years. Man bun beard, but it's not really anymore. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't see
trying
it.
to, like,
I don't see it hyped up as much anymore. You know.
it probably wouldn't have to do with looks then, because that's more so like this. The physically aesthetic thing is more like the woman's realm. I'm trying to think like what the parallel for men would be, because I don't think it would be necessarily a looks thing.
Oh.
You know.
Well. Oh yeah. Now it's not a look. It's the persona, like the alpha. You know, or I think it's Sigma now. I think people don't even want to be alpha anymore. They want to be Sigma, which is like a step up
Oh
from
wait,
alpha.
what? Oh my god,
You can look that up.
sounds lame. Oh, I'm Sigma, man. Get out of here, man.
I think
don't
like a Sigma is like this introverted it's an introverted alpha. Same level of confidence or whatever, but doesn't care to be loud and extroverted all the time, and like it's just like
No,
cool in their
like,
own isolated element. That's like a Sigma or something like that.
that's also considered alpha. Like Sigma, you're just trying to be special, man.
Well,
Just leave
I
it.
don't know. This is
No,
something
not
I
even
came
you. I'm just
across.
talking.
Yeah.
Not even you. I'm talking about
I know,
like
I
those
know.
people.
It's just what I only heard about Sigma, I think, in the last couple weeks. I read
Sigma.
about it somewhere, and it's probably Abba and Preach too, talking about.
Oh, is those are those two guys, right? Like the black dude and the brown guy.
They're both black, but
Oh no, this is someone else I'm thinking about.
one guy's Haitian, the other guy's kind of Arab, but they're both black. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that it
Yeah,
is those
yeah,
two.
but they're
They always
smart.
have,
Like one guy's kind of more of like a goofy, funny guy, and the other guy's more of like an analytical guy. But I like their content because for the most part, I agree with them. Like their morals kind of align. For the most part, not everything. Whereas like a lot of the consumption now on YouTube is the very much like what's that industry now where it's just like a bunch of people giving tips on like how to date and how to like control women. Like what is that?
Oh, like pickup artists.
That pickup artists. That is the one side of YouTube that I refuse to consume because I don't give a shit. Even though I'm sure it probably works for them to get more. I have 0 dates, so obviously what I'm doing isn't working. But at the same time, I'm not selling out and adopting something that I don't think is morally correct. I don't like this manipulation of pickup artists. But Red Pill Community, yes, that was the other one. Red
Pill Community.
Yeah, that's another term for.
Oh.
I think it's like toxic masculinity, and like, well, a part of that debate, I think.
I see.
But anyway, yeah, I'd rather stay true to like what I hold morally than switch it up for something that might work in terms of more attention and activity, but it doesn't align with my personal values. I'm like, well, screw that. I don't want to.
Yeah.
At my age, anyway, I can see teenagers and like younger kids, maybe in their 20s, making that shift because it's what's hot. It's what's hot right now.
Yeah.
Getting that bread. Landing those thoughts.
Abba and Preach. Yeah, I saw a video about them posted recently. Like, they were saying some kind of crazy shit.
About?
Like, so, a lot of, like, content like that, like, I get it because it's, like, rooted in, like, the notion that, you know, as a person of value, like, you should recognize your value, blah, blah, blah. I guess it goes back to what you're saying about, you could see some validity in some of their points, but others, I was like, man, this is crazy. They were saying some wild shit about like black women, man, and I was like, bruh, I don't know if I support this. This is nuts.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. I'm curious.
Yeah, because they're like,
which video that was. For the most part, they're pretty respectful. They're just kind of realist, but they're respectful. But I don't know.
Because what's the dude? The brown dude is like, yeah, man, we don't do the dark or whatever. And I was like, yo, this is like, are people still
What?
talking like this? Yeah, man. Let me see if I can find this shit to you and send
I
it.
bet you they said that's out of context. I bet you. I don't know. I don't, because I don't see them saying that. I've heard them say things sarcastically, as if they were like bantering, but impersonating who they're actually like not ridiculing, but
Hold on. Let me. Is this the right? Hold on a second. Oh, this is another person.
okay, good.
Yeah. No. My bad, yo. This is like another group.
Okay.
So who's this?
Who are they called?
Fit.
Fresh and
Fresh
Fit.
and
I knew it,
Yeah,
because dude,
yeah,
Fresh
yeah.
and Fit are the ones who are fighting Abba and Preach. They have beef.
Okay.
They have beef. I'm on the
Yeah.
Abba Preach side, but Fresh and Fit.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
saying
they have
some
a
wild shit.
they have
yo.
a full saga. Yo, the Fresh and Fit guys. I mean, apparently. No, it's not apparently. They say it in their freaking videos, and they have
Yeah,
like
bro.
proofs of DMs. So they reach out to girls. They reach out to girls on Instagram, up and coming, hot but not big yet, and they
Yeah.
invite them to go on their podcast so that they can make examples of them, like kind of like hound them and make them say stupid stuff so that they could like retaliate and be all loud and
Yeah.
alpha. But in exchange for them to show up on their podcast so that they could build their clout, their like online presence and followers, they have to
Yeah.
agree that they'll sleep with them after.
Bruh.
All of the girls on their podcast apparently have to agree that after the podcast they're going to sleep with them in order
What?
for them to be accepted to go to that podcast. Yeah. And all those women, you see them and you can tell they're not like, no offense, but based on the little clips that I've seen, I haven't actually watched a full video, but from the clips that I've seen or maybe reposts on different social media, they're not they don't look bright. I'll just say they don't look like the brightest ones, because what happened, how this was revealed, they approached this one like fitness girl,
Okay.
and she then screenshotted their chat about him,
Okay.
basically asking, we're not gonna have you on here unless you agree that we're gonna smash after. And then she's like, what? I don't do that. It's like, well, I'm just straight out. This is what happens. If you don't want it, it's fine. We can get any other girl we want, whatever. And she's like, okay. And she didn't even need that. But maybe, I don't know how they vet their or scout their potentials on their show, but for the most part, yeah, like I said, they don't look very bright. And then they say stupid stuff. And then because they say stupid stuff, they bash them on the podcast, and then the comments go nuts about it, like, oh,
Yeah.
these thoughts or whatever. Like, anyway, I don't
Okay.
like that
So two different people. Okay, because I was like, yeah, man, these guys are kind of wild. But okay, it's a different set of people.
if you have time, it's a cool saga kind of now. Just look up Abba Preach, Fresh Fit.
Whoa.
And then just look at the Abba side, because they're only responding to Fresh and Fit,
I see.
but to the point where other channels even started talking about the beef because it's good content, because they have a huge following. Both of them, both creators couples have like a huge following, and
I see.
Fresh and Fit eventually tried to copyright strike Abba and Preach for all their content that they talked about them. Which is not what you're, and they did it for basically because they didn't like the fact that they were being ridiculed or criticized on YouTube, but that's fair use. Like, it's actually fair use. You can do that if you're doing a reaction video or something like that. You're allowed to do that and use clips.
Okay.
But Fresh and Fit was claiming that it was defamation, and they were using the copyright strike through YouTube as a means to like retaliate, which is actually against YouTube policy. So anyway, it was fun. It's a funny saga in the sense of like you're happy to see the good guy win type of thing.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I don't like Fresh and Fit. I didn't have to even watch a lot of that stuff to understand what their content was, and for me not to want to watch it. So
Yeah. Very scumbaggy.
And that's like, I can see though, like that mentality they have is adopted as like a lot of younger men
Of course.
look at that and they're like, yeah, that's what I want, you know? And
Because like, yeah, it's like they take like, you know, things you would consider to be legitimate ways of thinking if you like value oneself, and they just like warp it and twist it in a way that's like manipulative to the other party. You know, because I think you should always like everybody should always have like a healthy evaluation of their own, you know, self-worth. But when it becomes, this is my self-worth, so this is why I'm doing this and talking like this to you in a way that is manipulative, it's like, no, can't do that.
what it makes me think about is the receiving end, like the women. Like, obviously, these men have adopted some kind of regiment that allows them to gland women. And these women weren't always susceptible to this. Like, they've reached a point now where this is apparently attractive to them, right?
Yeah.
I would wonder, like, I wish we could have a conversation with one of those women who fall subject to this kind of manipulation and just be like, so what do you like about that? Like, what is it about that persona that attracts you? And what do you think they would say, man? Like, what? Oh, I like a man with confidence. I like a man who knows how to treat a lady. You take it, like, what? So just money, like, you know?
I think, I mean, now we're getting into some pickup artist psychology. I think the mentality behind that is like, it's a psychological thing. Because if there's someone, I'll give you an example. If there's someone that you respect and like, you know, okay, if there's someone that you don't like, right, or there's someone that doesn't like you, and you know, maybe you guys work in the same company and they're like above you a little bit in the organization, you're gonna do your best to try to like impress that person, right? So it's kind of like the same thing. Like, that's why when they say and do like manipulative things to like women, it's some sort of like reverse psychology where like now they want to like try to impress you to get like that validation and that image of them not being worth it out of your head type thing.
Yeah.
So it's not even about like their immediate feelings. It's like these subconscious feelings that they didn't even know they had that like pickup artists are like preying on, you know?
So it's not even, so you're saying it's not even about the pickup artist trying to glam themselves up to be regarded. It's more like an attack down towards the woman so that she feels the need to defend herself to earn respect.
Yeah, something like that. It's like,
but
yeah,
I get it, but
yeah,
you know, like,
and it works too. That's the thing. That's a crazy shit. Like, that shit works, man.
Like, this whole idea of like, if you're a nice guy, then you can't give it out. You can't give that out too easily. It's like,
okay,
you know, like the girl likes a challenge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if you're just generally nice or whatever, and you give that off right away, then that wasn't hard. It's like, they want something who would make them work for it more or something. I'm not saying all women. I'm just saying this is like a narrative that I come across where it's like, they didn't have to work for it, therefore it wasn't worth their time or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's almost what's the trope again? It's like every guy is always telling them they're cute or they're beautiful or they're hot or whatever.
Right.
So it's like they want the opposite of that, which is a comment that has nothing to do with their looks or whatever. Like, just a lot of like not what the masses are doing.
Yeah.
You know, so like that's the same, I guess, type of thing you're talking about.
Mike saying here, nice guys are beta males. Apparently, that's what red pill community would say, and I know what you're talking about. Like, yes, that's what they say.
Beta male.
Is there like alpha female, beta female?
Oh man, I'll tell you a motherfucking alpha female. Share.
Okay.
Share. Holy shit. Yo, there's a compilation on YouTube of like celebrities getting roasted. There's some video of Cher flat out just calling Ellen a bitch on live TV. That shit gave me so much life. Hilarious. Let me see if I can send you that link. Or you could probably just type it in.
I'll look it up. Cher, Ellen.
So casual.
Cher calls Ellen DeGeneres a bitch live on her show. All
That
right.
shit was so satisfying. Oh
Let's
my god.
check it out. Let's check it out.
I was like, oh yeah, this bitch is alpha.
Last round. Oh, good. All right, so last me, then you. Okay.
Okay, Ellen, 3 things that turn you on.
Oh, music, sweetness, and
I
chocolate.
didn't mean it in that
Yes,
way.
chocolate. I just made that up.
I was thinking
That is
in a whole
stupid
different
commercial. What is
place.
this?
Really?
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking, you know.
Why is there a
handsome,
30-second
tall,
commercial?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Did we
Yeah.
both have sweet?
Yeah, I said
Okay.
sweet.
Okay.
Chocolate doesn't. I just made that up so I'd win. Does chocolate turn anybody on? Really? You're like, really? You
I
eat
love
it and you
I love it. I
And
don't
then-
get it much, but I love chocolate and cake.
eat chocolate and you're like, you're in the mood?
No.
Well,
no.
that's
it's
when
like
you-
I don't get to have chocolate. I mean, look, I'm working on my body, and I just don't.
Right.
Like, I have chocolate. I'm lying.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
And then it turns you on?
No, it doesn't turn
You
me
just said
on.
it did.
No, I didn't mean it in that way.
Okay.
Bitch.
All right.
Wow.
Bruh.
Give my guest share the last category,
You
please.
can see Ellen's body language immediately after.
It
the
just,
show.
yeah, it kind of shut down. Like, yeah, look, crossed their arms. And like her shoulders kind of
Used to make
drop.
money really
Actually,
fast.
Oh, singing, cooking, and.
Oh man, I love Cher.
and,
She's just like,
wow,
"Bitch."
she thinks so slow.
Oh, like, it was such an honest
Alright.
like reaction.
We
It's
both
just like,
lost,
yo,
and
like
we'll be
I'm
right-
not
I'll be
talking
right
about
back. She
that,
won't.
bitch.
Wow.
I love it.
22,000 likes, 2.2 million views.
I love it.
I mean, you could just, it's,
Cause you know people like that, like people that are just annoying. It's like no, like this, like no, fucker.
yeah.
But
But it wasn't like, she was smiling or whatever, but you could tell, like, because Ellen had this, apparently Ellen's like one of the meanest people.
Oh,
You've heard that, right? Yeah, like, and I can see that because of her success and her, like, it's like her palace in there, like, it's her realm. And, like, to be disrespected publicly like that, even if it was meant in jest, like, you could just see, like, Ellen was like, not in my house, you're never coming back here, you know? It's like,
I'll be back. She won't.
yeah, she said that. That's funny. Okay, sorry, we kind
other
of
alpha
deviated
females?
from the deep fake. Oh yeah, alpha females. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like just off the top of my head, that was the first thing that came to mind. But for some reason, Sigourney Weaver, man.
Is it because of the Alien series?
The Alien series.
Okay, yeah.
You know.
No,
And
but
then
like,
that
would you
girl,
say Rihanna, Beyonce, those types? Nah. The Kim, nah. I don't even see Kim as alpha. Yeah, because
Okay,
they're
so-
quiet. They don't really have an persona outside of
Yeah.
Sasha Fierce. You know, like they're like contrasting.
When I think about like alpha females, I think about like women that are, you know, not afraid to tell you, like not afraid to call you a bitch on like live TV. Not that I'm saying like Beyonce or Rihanna would be afraid to do that. I just feel like their brand might not necessarily like, I don't know, because
So that talk show host, the woman, Like this black woman with long curly hair who's really loud. I forget. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Yeah, show host female. Should probably be the number one. Wendy Williams.
Oh, Wendy.
Tyra Banks. You know?
I don't know. Because when I think of alpha female, I think of like Naomi Campbell.
Alpha?
Because she has like this like, don't fuck with me. Because she used to beat up her mates.
What?
Yeah.
Naomi Campbell used to used to beat
up her maids. So it's like when I hear shit like that, I just think of like, this woman will literally fight you.
Okay, but is alpha still regarded as like as a positive here?
That's what I was about to say. Like, not to say that having massive success and being a cultural icon doesn't make you an alpha female, because like Beyonce and Rihanna, like these are very powerful women, but I don't know if like that equates with being like alpha, you know? Because I think of Jeff Bezos as a very powerful man, but I don't like when I look at him, I don't consider him to be like an alpha male, you know? A motherfucker like what's his face? Jason Statham, or this big ass dude that played Aquaman, Jason Momoa.
Momoa,
yeah. Like, I'm getting more testosterone just looking at your ass, you know? But I don't know. My interpretation is different from others, so.
AOC, is that her name?
AOC?
I'm trying to think. There's this politician with 3 letters in her name. I see her photo here, but what is her name? I'll get it soon. 1 second. Yeah, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Have you seen? You know who I'm talking about. I bet you if you look her up, you'll just look up AOC and then you'll see it in Google. She's big in the politics scene because she's an advocate for like actual moral stuff, and she talks up. She'll openly talk loudly about it. She's not afraid to like hold back her.
I think did she just tweet something about like people calling out her boyfriend or something?
Really?
Or maybe I'm thinking about someone else.
I just looked that up. AOC mocks GOP for having obsession with her boyfriend's feet.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's the one.
Who's GOP?
Okay, so I have heard of her. Yeah, I guess like
Ted Cruz claims multiple grounds to impeach. No, that's not it. Not bad.
You know what? That's not accurate because I'm categorizing, I guess, alpha with the paintbrush of like male characteristics. Because like male characteristics for alpha would be considered, you know, bravery and strength and all that stuff, and like composure and calm. But for women, it's probably like it has a lot more to do with like, you know, feminine or maternal qualities. Which then you could say like, yeah, for sure, Beyonce, Rihanna, all these people are like alpha females. You know. Because Beyonce has like what, 3 kids now?
You look at one and it's supposed to be, again, I think we talked about this in the other podcast with like Krista, where the words are regarded positively on the male side, but when you attribute it to the female side, it's almost like it doesn't match up to what you would expect. You would expect the female to be, you know.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so yeah, we kind of deviated away from the deep fake stuff. So I guess this is my question. How do we see this becoming an issue for like the common man? Because in my brain, I'm like, okay, Snapchat already has a large database of like all of our facial stuff.
Yeah.
This technology is, you know, in this deepfake technology is in like beta testing mode, but at some point it's going to get better and a lot more accessible. We already know like the mass prevalence of like misinformation from sources that we're supposed to consider as legitimate, like the news. That's happening there. There's like fake news. Fake news is a real thing. Like these people are sometimes just flat out lying on headlines. So where do we get to the point where it's like you're posting a picture on your article and it's not even the picture of the right person. And then in the caption on the bottom, it'll say, "Oh, this is a representation of blah blah blah. This picture is not actually of blah 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 blah." Disclaimer.
Yeah. Just like
you know,
the end of the Homer Simpsons thing.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, when I clicked your link first about the Trudeau thing, I noticed it was the National Observer. I'm sure I've heard of the National Observer before, but it made me think of National Enquirer, and it's like, oh, is it a tabloid? Is this a tabloid now? Like, I don't know. I don't know what's a tabloid these days because I just consume all my news online anyway. I don't look at newsstands anymore or magazine stands. I see the potential for the common man it'll just be identity theft first. Like there's going to be ways to make like IDs. Well, I mean they do that already. Like I don't know, man. Like this level of authentication, like even these like vaccine passports are all going to be QR codes, but QR codes are just links. You know, encryption in a pin, like a chip on a card. Like how is that going to tie into your appearance? Another example, man, like is passport photos, right? Like you're supposed to one, not smile. Two, it cannot be photoshopped whatsoever. Do you know you can go to places to get photoshopped passport photos?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure that is.
It's like a thing. Like you can do that. You can have them make you look better in your passport photo, which is hilarious. But then I thought about that too earlier when I thought cosmetic surgery. If you have a passport photo, it's like 10 years, but then you get cosmetic surgery. I mean, are you legally required to get a new passport photo? You know, like a new...
I would think so.
Driver's license or whatever. I think so. Yeah, like
I would think so. Yeah, because they make you do it if you change your like last name. You have to get a whole new like SIM card and shit.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you can change your hair. You can go from like super long curly hair, and then all of a sudden you shaved it and it's a buzz cut. That'll look very different too. But
yeah, I mean,
that's
but
a
it's
haircut.
Yeah, it's a little different than your actual like physical face, you know, because all that stuff like is already like being accounted for. Like you would have people in nowadays that look different from their passport photos because of a hair change.
Yeah,
but like
you heard about that Korean family, right? Or it was Chinese or Korean, my bad. But the husband sued his wife.
Oh.
Right? I thought that was fake news too. It was just for like just for the sake of shock factor, but I think it's real. I think after all the posts about it. But yeah, so the story, just to recap for those who know, I don't know how anyone would not know what I'm talking about, but this man married this woman. They had babies, and the babies came out ugly. And then the man basically found out that the woman had plastic surgery and sued his wife for
crazy.
What would be the grounds for
falsifying? Man.
I don't know, for lying. I don't know.
That's nuts, yo. How you gonna sue your kid's mom?
For not looking. Well, that's the thing though, like because cosmetic surgery is so commonplace now. It's so commonplace now. Even just a lip job. You know, I'm not boob augmentation is so like readily kind of accessible now. Everyone's getting these like
BBLs.
These like I was saying about this, but I mean like just like fillers in their skin and stuff. Not even just lips now. They get like these for their head, their cheeks and stuff to like make your skin more supple or whatever. It's gross. I don't know why they like the look, but like it looks gross to me. Like do you remember Courtney Cox from Friends?
That's
Monica. Monica. It's Monica from Friends.
Courtney Cox. Yep.
Okay, did you see her before her face injections and then after her face injections? Still looks like her, but you could tell. You could just tell. Courtney Cox post-op. You could just do Courtney Cox post-op.
Damn, son. Bruh.
They might have fixed it since, but...
Yeah, people are... people are not happy with how they look when they get older, man.
Well, I mean, who is? You know,
Yeah.
unless you can look 10, 20 years younger than you are, or you're a male, because old males apparently still do well. There's this like
In terms of,
maturing
like,
look. Well, yeah, the
oh,
aesthetic appeal of their face when
physically.
they get older, it actually looks more attractive. But for the
I see
women,
that.
unfortunately, it's the opposite. Like, it doesn't tend to do as well, unless you can look 20 years younger naturally. You know, you got the J-Los or the
Oh man, J-Lo.
yeah, J-Lo. Or
Delivering
what's the
these
other?
Virgos.
Jessica Alba. Have you seen her in a little bit? Like, she hasn't aged.
Oh yeah, hold on, let me look at her. How old is she now? 40?
I think she's older than me. Maybe she's
Oh, I was
my
thinking
age.
about I don't know why I was thinking about Jessica Biel. Wow, she
Oh,
still
yeah.
looks great. Yeah.
Alba is 40 years old. Still looks like she was from Honey. Like, still looks
Yeah,
like the same
yeah.
girl from Honey. You know?
Shit, son.
Beal isn't looking as I would use the word pristine as Alba, but still, yeah, of course she looks great for her. How old is she now? Beal is 39. She's even younger than Alba.
Shit. Wow, she's been married to Justin Timberlake since 2012, eh? Good for them.
That's awesome, man. That's a nice story. I haven't heard from JT in a while, eh? Is he working on
Yo,
something?
he's been fucking getting his ass kicked.
What?
Because there's like a mic, because you know since the whole Janet Jackson controversy.
It's so long
Like,
ago. Okay.
I know, but people have not been fucking with Justin since, man. Because there's a Janet Jackson documentary that just came out too, talking about that, and it then shed that coupled with the Britney Spears doc, I think, yeah, has been kind of messing with his look right now. Because he wasn't painted in the best light.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I could see. I'm sure he's made some, you know, some bad mistakes in the past. He's a young guy who got to success super fast. Like, you're gonna fuck up somehow, you know? Unfortunately, no one's really ever prepared for that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know. Michael Jackson, prime example.
Word.
Yeah, man, maturity plays a huge role in success. Or at least, like, lasting success. I think JT did pretty good, though. Like, he settled in, and he maintained, like, a good character. But you don't see other young guys who made it to the top really quickly. Really, not a lot of them stay with that, like, moral standard. They all just become exploitative, I guess, of their power, their fame.
No, that's true. That is true. Have you ever experienced any identity theft, by the way?
Besides, like, credit card fraud, no, I don't think. Luckily, I don't. Oh, well, no, that's not identity theft. Like, I've had haters, like, target specifically, you know, make accounts to hate me, but they.
Are you serious?
Luckily, they never tried to. I say they. There's only one that I can particularly recall. Like, he started an account that the name was FJ Sucks, and every video, every video I would post, he would bash. He would, like, comment and, like, talk shit about me. Yeah, it was like a huge success.
great.
It was a win for me, man. I was like, oh my god, I've reached a point where I have a public hater. That's pretty cool. yeah, it was a win for me. I was like, whoever that is, I'm sure I knew that person personally. I'm pretty sure I must have known this person personally. Like, there's no way some random person was doing that. But
no one's that invested in a stranger, yo.
Yeah,
this person knew you.
And what was great at the time, so at the time, I wish I didn't do this back then, but when I started YouTube, I would never reply to anyone's comment. Like, it was like, I didn't want to be accessible like that. I didn't want people to think that because I'm posting things online, that like now you have access to me. So for some reason, I developed this thing, like, I will not answer anybody. I should have. Come to think of it, I should have, because I think I would have done better if I did. So when the hater came on, again, I would ignore every one of his comments. I would just I'd laugh and I'd enjoy what he's talking about. He'd call me gay, or he'd talk about something with my mom or something like that.
Oh,
and I would never have to say anything because my fans would defend me for me. They would retaliate for me. They would just like reply, and so that was a really cool win. I don't know if that account exists anymore. His comments are still there. I'm saying his, but I'm guessing it's a guy. But
oh, that's definitely a dude.
it's funny. Yeah.
FJ Sucks is hilarious. You're like, not even original.
Well, I think it's soft enough. Anyway, I don't know. That was cool. It was a cool time. That was when I was dancing. That's when I had more of a...
Oh, makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That motherfucker was jealous as fuck.
Probably.
Oh, yeah. He's
Yeah.
like, guy probably thinks he's the best dancer in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. That's when I had classes
Now that
and
you
stuff.
say that,
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's kind of like a parallel with me making like a fake hater. Dan Santos sucks.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you could have done it, man, like in retaliation.
This guy is always not smiling. He thinks he's cool. Yeah. They probably just wanted your approval really badly.
But in in real life?
Yeah, and because like they felt like they couldn't be as cool as you, or like they were jealous, they just started to hate. That's coming from a place of love. In my perspective at the time, I thought it was someone I was competing with, like somebody within the same kind of realm where like they were also teaching, and trying to make a name for themselves and build like a reputation too in the dance industry. Because I was trying to be the up and coming. I was trying to come up. I was working on my come up. Never got there. I see.
But I was working on it. So, there's ego involved, obviously. There's a little bit of confidence / arrogance there when you're a dancer trying to come up. Like, you have to kind of come off like, yeah, I'm better.
Yeah.
I guess that rubbed off a certain way with some people. I don't think I necessarily did that very badly or anything, but I definitely was super confident back then. Like, I did not like going to other people's classes. I didn't want to be influenced by other people, So it's like...
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it was another choreographer.
So maybe it was another choreographer where there might have been an opportunity.
Oh shit.
That's funny. Oh shoot. No, I don't think it's any of these guys. But anyway, I think definitely after university days. I think. Yeah, it was after university that it came up.
Shit.
But anyway.
Yeah, I don't know if I mean, other than the recent like license plate issue that I had, I haven't been a victim of theft. Knocked wood. I won't ever be. But even that, knowing that somebody else had my like fucking like car information out there, it could be potentially doing, evil shit.
Yeah.
It's very, very troubling, man.
Like apparently even just like your VIN number, which is very readily available on your car. If you just go up to it and take a photo, you get a lot from that VIN number, right?
Crazy.
If you have the right database, access to the right database or whatever, like you can get, full name, address, phone number, contact information. So
Crazy.
that is my concern generally with my line of work, and the fact that I'm trying to be as accessible as possible is I'm super transparent online. Some people will look at that and be like, that's irresponsible, you shouldn't be so transparent online, but I think like I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Luckily I have no real mortal enemies who want to take advantage of that, like knock on wood that it stays that way, but I'm not famous enough to really be after. But if anyone really wanted, I mean, essentially they could,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I have to be reachable. So, and especially when you're self-employed, it's not like I have like a business address, like. So yeah.
Wait, so you said you were a victim of credit card fraud?
Oh yeah, like You know, like I'm about to use my credit card somewhere, and it's like it's declined, and I'm like, why?
Oh, what?
And then like a couple minutes later, I get a call from CIBC, and they're like, yeah, sorry, we had some like peculiar behavior on your account. It says here you're currently in Waterloo, and I'm like, yeah, I'm in Waterloo. Okay, yeah, because apparently in like Nova Scotia, you made like a purchase at Walmart for like 100,000, like not 100,000, but like for like $100. I'm like, yeah, that wasn't me. I'm like, okay, we're gonna deactivate your card right now, and then we'll send you a new one. And that's happened like 3 times. 3 times where I've had to get a new card number because it's because of CIBC. I think it's internal. I think some guy in there got a bunch of account numbers, printed out the pages, sold them off to some other company to like take use of. I think it was internal. So I wasn't like specifically targeted. It was probably a whole list of accounts.
You're just like collateral damage.
Yeah.
Wow, yo.
That's CIBC. Okay. So that's it.
So, I mean, and they like give you that money back and everything?
Oh yeah, I was never charged. Like Visa covered it, whatever it was. Like it's happened through McDonald's. My McDonald's app was hacked. Some guy was ordering like a ton of Big Macs in Montreal or something. And then yeah, I had to shut down that. I had to shut that card down too. But yeah, mainly hacking in that scenario, but not my identity. They're not like trying to travel as me. They're not trying to like purchase things as me. Well, I guess that's what credit card is, but yeah, it for a while it worried me when online shopping and online banking was relatively new. I was not early to adopt on that, you know, like I was like, hold off.
That's why I don't put my cards on my phone, yo. Like on the Apple Wallet shit, I don't do that, man.
I think it's to the level now where you could trust that that's as good as your wallet, dude. I'm pretty sure, like, yeah.
Oh no, man.
Google Pay is so convenient, though, dude. I'm an advocate of Google Pay for sure.
I get it, and like
Apple Pay.
It's probably way safer. It's just like, it's the same thing that like you're talking about. It's like that mentality. Like I don't know.
What do you think? Because I see it happening. You know, if Google becomes a bank, and Apple becomes a bank. Oh shoot. My phone just reacted to that because I said.
What did it say?
Well, because I said Google, and then like I guess it thought I said okay. Google. Anyway, yeah, because I recently took another survey about like financial services, and they're proposing, or this survey is, in my opinion, they're kind of like giving out the possibility that Amazon, Google, and Apple, even Facebook, may start offering financial services where your bank is not TD anymore, BMO. You can have a Google bank account, which I have confidence in. I have confidence in a Google bank account, not Apple, because I don't use Apple. But Amazon, I mean, if I was heavily, if I was on Amazon Prime and I have like, Alexa in my home and things like that, I could see myself probably adopting very confidently in an Amazon bank account. But yeah, what do you think? I'm for it.
Oh man, Apple Bank. What would that entail then? Like, I mean, they already have all your data.
Yeah.
But I want my?
But then they'll have your financials, your credit score,
and like also integrated into my social media system. Because like, what's it called? If I'm posting on social, like, will I not be able to post on social media now because I have like bills? Like I just think of like all the weird ways that could go. Or,
interesting.
Because like you get fines and shit from the bank, right? Like when you don't pay on time. Like how's that gonna get integrated into the other dimensions of Apple and Amazon?
Oh no, I don't necessarily think they're going to tie it all together where when you're logging into Facebook, automatically you have access to your Facebook banking information at the same time. I think there's still going to be different portals, but Facebook or Amazon or Google will now have a division strictly for finance, strictly for banking, for
Yeah,
but it's just separate, a separate department,
I still think on some level, it'll still be like within the same system, right?
Oh
Or the
yeah,
same company.
it's gonna
at
be
least.
owned by the same company. Yeah.
So I just wonder, in what ways are we not going to be aware of that those, those things there's going to be overlap in
That's
terms
the
of like
scary
how
part,
one
man. The
is going to
terms and
affect the other.
conditions, the user licensing agreement, and whatever. Nobody reads through it, and it's gonna be so long. It has to be ridiculously long, legal stuff, and you just have to trust that when you open that first bank account, like when I first opened my PC financial account, purely online, there were no. Well, yeah, they had kiosks, I guess, in like Loblaws, but they didn't have any branches, right? Same with ING Direct before it was Tangerine. And ING Direct, purely online. Did I read any of that documentation?
Tangerine?
Yeah, Tangerine and ING Direct are the same. Yeah. Now you know. It was a rebranding. It was a rebrand.
Holy shit. You gotta
Save
love
your
more.
money. Yeah, the orange. That's why they're both orange. But anyway.
Wow. That's the guy? And save your money.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Tangerine is with Scotiabank now? Is it? I'm gonna say
Wow.
I don't know about
Wow.
that. You know more than me, dude, but I know that Tangerine came from ING. I don't know if they're with Scotia.
I literally typed in ING Direct and Tangerine is the first thing that came up.
Yeah. Wow. You have a Tangerine account?
Yeah, I do.
It's a really good MasterCard. Tangerine,
Wow.
Scotia, and Simply and CIBC. Oh, you mean what? Because Simply came from PC Financial, and I don't know if PC Financial actually exists anymore. I think it does.
What's the other thing that's like that? Wasn't Freedom called something before? Or Freedom was something else now?
Wind. It used to be called Wind Mobile, and it was just
That
Freedom.
threw me off as well.
And before Wind, it was something else too, I think. Tangerine is the Scotiabank, like Simply is the
rebrands be
CIBC.
working.
They're like discount banks. Yeah, but Mike, Tangerine definitely came from ING, and ING and Scotia weren't a thing originally, right? I'm pretty sure. Maybe Tangerine combined with Scotia after, but I see that Tangerine came from ING. ING went bankrupt. I can see that. I can see that.
They started crumping in the bank? That's crazy.
They started crumping in the bank?
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
They said I think they went bank crumped.
No, Tangerine.
I was just messing with them.
Okay, that's cool. I did not know that.
Bank rump.
But yeah, I know specifically CIBC launched PC as a cheaper no fee banking online, and then PC was rebranded to Simply because I guess they didn't want to be stuck with President's Choice as the brand.
Wait, is President's Choice now strictly called PC? Or it's still President's Choice?
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah,
okay. What was I thinking about the other day? Price Chopper. Do you remember Price Chopper?
Yeah.
Right.
They don't exist anymore, do they?
Did that become no frills? Or hold on, let me look that up. Because I saw a picture of like me as like an 8-year-old in Toronto, and I was like, Price Chopper. Holy shit.
I'm gonna say no. It's not the same.
What happened to them?
But Price Chopper is I don't see them anymore.
Oh, the last remaining Canadian outpost of Price Chopper, the once popular grocery store chain that was acquired by Sobeys, from the Oshawa Group in the late 1990s, is officially set to shut its doors next month. Shit. Yeah, so the last one closed in 2020, February. Crazy. So I guess they got acquired by Sobeys, eh?
I'm all about the Loblaws PC family. I believe in them more than I think Sobeys Metro is another one. I don't know if Sobeys Metro.
Freshco, which is another Sobeys subsidiary.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So Freshco founded blah 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 has been thought of as the new iteration of Price Chopper, but was intended to be more than just an updated version of the now defunct brand. Despite the fact so many Price Choppers were renovated to turn into more modern, clean-looking Freshcos. Interesting.
I do think Freshco does look nicer than Price Chopper. Price Chopper looked pretty like
Pretty murked.
yeah, it looked cheap in
It was
there, you
orange.
know? Yeah, it looked cheap in there. I guess it kind of looks like Food Basics. No frills. I'm a no frills guy. I like shopping at no frills. It doesn't look as dodgy as Price Chopper and Food Basics. Yeah, when I walk into a Food Basics, it looks a little like run down. But no frills at least is stepping up, not to the same level as Loblaws or Metro or Sobeys, but definitely I like no frills.
So Zayre's Markets, what's that? Hold on, let me look that up.
That's probably part of another family. I can see that being part of Sobeys, isn't it?
That's like Loblaws, no? Yeah, is a part of Loblaws Company Limited.
Oh, it's Loblaws.
What about
I see.
Longos? Longos. No, they're hold on. Controlled by Sobeys parent Empire Company
There you go.
in
Sobeys.
partnership with the founding Longo family. That's crazy, yeah. So it's all the same person.
It's gonna end. It's basically Rogers versus Bell. You know, Sobeys Loblaws is like Rogers and Bell. You know.
Yo, like so much of our like infrastructure is just run by like 5 companies.
Conglomerates. Oh yeah, dude.
It's like Apple.
Was it P&G? Like Procter and Gamble has so many brands under it. Did you know? You know Procter? No.
Procter and Gamble. Yeah.
Like what do they have? They have.
They got mad shit, yo.
Oh my goodness, Procter. Downy, Braun, CoverGirl, Zest, Tide, Olay, Scope, Febreze,
Billions.
Always, Glide, Crest. Yo, it's Crest? Who makes Colgate?
Yo, Pampers alone? Because I'm
Head
just
and
on this site.
Yeah, man.
Holy shit.
I'm now curious who has Colgate. Who owns
Billions.
Colgate? If Procter and Gamble is Crest,
Because these are literal, like,
Colgate Palmolive.
household
What?
staples.
Colgate Palmolive. That's it. Like Procter and Gamble, I just named a whole bunch of stuff, but Colgate and Palmolive, that's it. Colgate Palmolive. They have enough to have their own
Crazy.
combination there. PepsiCo. Oh yeah, PepsiCo. What do they own? But that's more like fast food joints, right?
PepsiCo.
Brands. PepsiCo brands are it's all like consumable. Oh my
Oh, the bottling
god.
company.
Oh, wait, what? Hold on. Okay. This is a really cool. I'm gonna show this this image. This is awesome. Can I show it? There we go. So you can show Coca-Cola family versus the PepsiCo family. Nestle, Mars.
Mars.
Yeah, Mars is huge. Yeah, Mars owns like Wrigley, Lifesavers, Altoids, M&M's, Milky Way, Snickers, Extra. I don't know what Mondelez International, but oh, what? And it owns Kraft. It used to be Kraft, now it's called Mondelez. Did you know that? I don't know that.
I did not know that.
Kellogg's is obviously big. General
Mills.
Checks.
Crazy. Talk about monopolies.
That's Well, not necessarily because they compete. They all compete with each other generally. Well, at least Coca-Cola, PepsiCo does.
Yeah, but like, I guess I'm trying to like think of it like on a perspective level thing, because like to the average, business owner, they can't fathom like what would go into like running like multi-billion-dollar corporations like this.
Do you think Pepsi and Coca-Cola at some point in the future will just become one?
Yep.
I see.
Yep.
I see a lot of things just coming together eventually. Like even with like the Googles and the Apples and the Amazons, like
I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if like Apple and Amazon went. Come on, man.
Apple and Amazon.
Let's just join forces, yo.
Apple and Amazon. I mean, that'd be huge.
That'd be nuts.
Is Google still like up there, or is Amazon still? I guess it's different. I don't know.
It's probably different now, because weren't you the one telling me the number one search, or the number one app used last year was TikTok and not Google? Or was it you telling me that?
I don't know. I don't think I said that.
Now where it's like the number one visited site last year was TikTok, not Google.
Oh, I never thought it would be Google. Oh,
No,
but
like,
a site? I would look at. You would compare TikTok with Instagram or Facebook, but to compare it with Google.
Maybe I'm not using the right verbiage. I meant more so like search engine, or like, because you know how Google is like used for, why is blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I think what they were alluding to is like now
people are using TikTok for that. Oh my goodness, what? TikTok's scary. I will say. It's China owned, I get it, and that's why like the US was so against it, but they just couldn't keep it down. Like, it's so big. I still don't consume it. Like, maybe I'll consume TikTok maybe once a month. If I just happen to open it up because it sent me a notification about something.
Some people definitely someone put me onto it this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I was like, I see what the craze is, because
compared to I mean, there's some quality content on there, but a lot of this content is just a pretty girl choosing to like move side to side a little bit and pose and smile, and that's it. It's like 6 seconds of that, and then she'll get 1 million likes, or a million, just because she picked a song that was trending, and she'll just look cute to it. And that's content these days. Or they'll wear some outfit and they just have to do one squat and not come back up. That like standing and then a transition to them squatting, and then they change outfits, and then that thing just goes viral or whatever. And it's like,
yeah, I mean, like you definitely have a lot of these like trends that are very viral, that like people, everyone is trying to like copy so that they can also get, likes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I guess for what I've noticed in my experience is that, because there's a lot of like TikTok comedy videos that I find super hilarious.
Yes.
And
yes.
also like there's this dude I follow called Setup Spawn, and he just basically goes through like hundreds of like websites that are like amazing, that just have like random practical uses, like for instance, I found out that on some pages where if you go to like a news article, it'll say, please subscribe or pay a $2 subscription, blah blah blah, to read the rest of this article. If you go to the browser and you type in outline.com/ and then the actual link, it'll just show you everything, so he shows us like websites like that. And so I found that I'm starting to see more techie stuff and more like comedy stuff that I actually find funny. Okay. So that's what I'll say is like the difference with the algorithm on TikTok. It's like, it actually does the homework a little bit.
I believe the platform definitely also produces really, really good quality stuff. I can't hate on it. People do their hustle, they do their own game to they get theirs. Doesn't affect me directly, whatever. But for future generations to place a value on that kind of content creation where it's all about just, am I cute? Do I look good or do I look sexy in this? And then use a little snippet of someone else's song or whatever that might be trending. Boom.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like,
I hate that shit.
Like, but at the same time, I have to say, yes, they are attractive. Yes, they look good, and I've probably consumed a fair bit of that too, because you catch yourself looking at it, and even if you feel like, oh god, and then it loads to the next one, and you're like, oh, you're watching it again because it's so easily consumed, and then you stop, and then you think about it, you're like, is that what we're producing these days? Like, is that what's like validated these days because you have like 1 million followers?
And just to clarify, like what I hate about that shit is more so like the audio, because I feel like anytime I log on to TikTok, there's some fucking corny ass trendy song that starts playing out of nowhere, and I always have to like skip to like the next shit. But
or just man. You know that TikTok used to be, what was it called? Musically? I think it was called Musically.
Musically? Oh, okay.
It used to be just dubbing. Like, you would just use it to dub. Like, you would...
Interesting.
They would be like a script from a movie, and then you would just dub it. You would just do the mouth. And that's what it used to be, that. And then they changed it so that it wouldn't just be thought of as music and script and dubbing. It would be like this huge... I mean, what it is now. And then it was so huge that Instagram copied it. So huge that YouTube copied it. You know, YouTube has shorts now too, right?
Oh yeah, man. Yo, everyone's just copying each other. Like,
well, they have to, because TikTok made it standard. Like, it's like, if you want to be big, you got to do what we're doing, which is short, stupid content, like reels. And
it's so annoying.
Our attention spans are so short now. Okay. What do you think of? I'm gonna say a time, and you tell me if you think it's short, long, whatever. But like 6 minutes.
Way too long.
In today's standard, you'd think 6 minutes is way too long, right? But if you can make a meal in 6 minutes, like if you can make lunch in 6 minutes, that's wicked, right?
Yeah.
If you can clean your room in 6 minutes, that's dope. If you can take a 6-minute shower. No, I probably do it quicker than that now, but like whatever, get ready in the morning in 6 minutes. It's really fast. I posted a 6-minute video of me snowboarding, and I pressed play to watch it to like review, and by 2.5 minutes I was like, this is too long. I can't use any more of my minutes to watch this thing. I mean, I still posted it, whatever, but like something has been programmed now to feel that anything over 2.5 to 3 minutes is now too long for me. I can't even I can't sit there. I don't have the patience for it anymore. It's weird.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna have a little bit of an answer for you with regards to that. I think when it's something that you are watching, and the viewer himself or herself is like not doing anything, that's when the really short attention span comes into play. Because it's like, I'm gonna stare at this thing, but you better hold my attention, you know. Yeah. But if it's just like if it's a video of like a constant narrative, like say like a snowboarding review or whatever, and it's like we're just talking about snowboarding, you know, or a podcast.
Yeah.
But this is where I'll say the difference in those two things are, for a video that you're just watching, you probably are watching it on a platform where with a flick of the wrist, there's hundreds of more other videos, right?
Yeah.
With a podcast, you're kind of invested in like listening to this episode, because you know, for the general podcast listener, you have like their history with this podcast show and you enjoy it, so you listen to it.
Yeah.
If you're cleaning your room, that's more of an activity where you're moving stuff. I just feel like when people are like watching something, unless it's a movie or a show where like scenes are changing and they're going into different environments, build up whatever.
Yeah.
It's difficult for like the average person to like stay, because, and you can't really blame them too. This is what I'm starting to realize. Like, yo, a lot of this shit can't be blamed on the user because it's just the times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if there's potentially more engaging and more entertaining videos that you have access to with just a swipe of your finger,
Mm-hmm.
your brain is going to be like, oh, okay, maybe something more interesting is, you know?
Yeah, I think lull, like the lull period of a video or whatever that we're consuming, we've learned to adopt to be very quickly critical of a lull moment. It's like, immediately lost my interest. Boom. It's like, next, on to the next. You know, and that's, I think it's with everything, even with the way we are on the dating apps. You know, you just going through maybe some photos, you can reach one, you're like, next. or you're reading a profile maybe, and something just came out, be like, nope, next. It just, there's this, I think we have this perception of abundance. There's always going to be something else. So
that's it.
We have very low tolerance for lull periods. Yeah.
I guess same reasoning with like divorce and shit now, or like just like a lack of faithfulness in relationships and couples. It's like, yo, there's so much availability with the literal swipe of a finger.
It's funny you mentioned that in that context, because like, again, back to Abba and Preach, I watched this other thing they were critiquing about military relationships.
Oh man,
I had no idea that was I had no idea until I started reading comments after the video, and all these people in the military spoke that this was just commonplace for people to cheat and sleep around and do all this stuff when you're in the military.
So, hold on. So are they saying it's coming from the soldiers, or like the women they leave back home, or the men they leave back home?
Both. Like if you are boyfriend, girlfriend, and one of you is going to the military, both will be in the culture of the person staying home will eventually be targeted, and it's kind of because also generally I think what they said is like you might not be in the military yourself, but you're in like a civilian kind of base. You know, like there's still you're still within reach of the base where your significant others stationed or like and then that community also adopts the fact that, okay, well, our partners are all gone, so like this is commonplace for like, there's a word for them. There's like a term for the guy who goes after the woman who's like,
yo, let me find out I went to war trying to defend motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And
it's commonplace. Yeah.
Everybody's dying.
and in the opposite side too, apparently, if your girl goes to the military, if your girl is the one who goes to the military, and you stay home and you're like, yeah, I'll work and maybe you have a job already and like, or you know, your school, whatever it is, but she goes off to the military, you have to assume that she's sleeping with so many dudes, because I mean, yeah, even the general population is just not that many women deployed, I guess, as men.
That's crazy. Yo, because like, it's like, yo, these are veterans now. This is like a different thing. It's different if you're going to jail.
Yeah.
Jail, I can understand, because it's like, yo, I'm locked up in here for 7 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm really gonna expect you to be faithful while I'm in here. Going to war?
Yeah, like, but dude, those are long periods too, though.
No, I'm saying, but
and they're away.
I guess the mentality of it. You know, it's like, yo, I'm doing the most noblest. I'm literally offering up my body as a sacrifice to this country to keep like everyone safe.
Yeah.
And this is how I'm repaid. Oh, someone's just banging my wife while I'm at war.
Yeah. But then they also assume that you'd be banging other people in there too.
Nah, you can't. I mean, that's the culture. Like,
apparently, I guess it's almost like when it was open to my eyes, like this whole the Olympics.
I read about that.
Like it's just one giant orgy, and it's like I can see that now, and I've never thought about it in that sense before.
I get that, like,
but you
that
can see it.
Get.
Yeah, you see it now. It's
that
like,
I get.
Yeah,
you're in a camp with the most athletically fit people from all over the world. What?
Well, think about military too. Like, there's a little bit of there's a weeding out process of the weak too. Like, so in the end, you're with a bunch of hard bodies too, like, and you're all like noble, fighting for your country, and it's like,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
okay, but in that sense, I want to say like the men and the women would be more, I guess, corralled together.
yeah,
Like it would be like a men's barracks or whatever. Whereas I feel like in the Olympics, it's kind of like a mixed bag.
yeah. They're just like, here, you can
Yeah.
all stay in this building together, and
Oh,
here's
yeah.
a bowl of condoms. Apparently, Japan was just like handing them out because I mean they knew, which I
That
think
would
is
be, like-
responsible. So
Like honestly, that's like a fun, like that to me. That's like fun. You
it's
know,
like Frosh Week, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
it's
Frosh
yo,
Week,
we're
yeah.
all like highly trained athletes. Like we're here to represent our countries. We're all
Yeah.
meeting each other. We're all staying in this camp. Like let's fucking ball out. You know. So to me, that's like okay, it's cool. Like they're all young too, so it's like
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But like the military, like I might die.
Well, there's more of it's like might as like what am I hanging on to?
Yeah,
More like
why
one of
am I
those things.
fighting?
Oh,
Why
what am I?
fighting in the first place?
Well, a lot of it's money, like security,
Yeah.
you know, and stuff.
Security,
Like, sure,
maybe,
that
but-
some people have might operate out of duty, but
Mhm.
I think for the most part, it's probably because like lack of choice, lack of options. Oh, you don't have a lot of
Yeah.
money. You want your education paid for? Join the military. Yeah, it's like, you know.
Go Army.
Hmm.
Oh man, war is old men talking and young men dying, and then their wives getting screwed by their friends.
Wow. I've never heard it summarized in that manner, but I see it.
No, that was the original part. War is old men talking, young men dying. That was from I think Troy.
Oh yeah.
The movie Troy. Yeah, Brad Pitt.
Yeah. Agamemnon and
Agamemnon.
Alexander.
Yo, Orlando Bloom, man, what a fucking shit disturber,
In that movie?
bruh. This man just went to a whole nother country, took some guy's wife, and just caused an entire like city to be destroyed.
And he bitched out on his fight too.
Yo,
I hated that. Like,
How
are
you
you
get to
seriously
kill
gonna
Achilles?
crawl to your brother? And oh man, you just that's
how
just
do
shameful.
you get to kill Achilles? Like
That
come
shit,
on.
yeah, and you're the guy who misses the arrow and lands on his ankle. You didn't even aim for it, dude. It was a mistake. Anyway, it was luck. Anyway,
All right, Homer. We'll let you have that one.
was that his name?
Wait. Homer wrote Troy, right? Hold on, let me look that up.
No, Orlando was not Homer in there.
No. Homer, the actual author of Troy.
Oh, okay.
The Iliad. Wait, no. What's the Iliad? Is the Iliad Troy?
That sounds familiar too.
Hold on a second. Ugh. I used to know all this shit off the top of my head, yo.
Oh, he was Paris. Orlando Bloom was Paris.
It was Paris. Yeah, he was Paris of Troy.
Homer wrote
So
Iliad.
the Iliad is the poem, so I guess it encompasses all of that shit. It's a cool name. Yeah, the Trojan War. Okay.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, the city of Troy was called Ilium. I see. That's where that comes from.
Homer is the presumed author of the Iliad and the Odyssey, two
I
hugely
have
influential epic poems of ancient Greece.
But I have not read it. I think that's the one with the maidens, or sorry, the mermaids that like kill you with their voices. Hold on,
Oh
let me
man,
see.
I don't remember.
The Odyssey. It's about this dude who travels, right? Odysseus. Okay, it follows the Greek hero Odysseus, king of Ithaca, and his journey home after the Trojan War. Oh, so it must have happened after.
I've heard.
I
of
gotta read that.
Odysseus.
It's literally just sitting on my bookshelf.
Oh, the Iliad?
Yeah, no, the Odyssey.
Oh, the Odyssey.
Let's probably read it.
I just remembered there was other instances where I got hacked, but I don't think
Oh,
it's
you did?
identity theft. Well, my Plenty of Fish account got hacked, but he wasn't pretending to
What?
be me.
That's so random.
So like, I woke up one day and I was getting messages from like Florida, And I would look, I'm like, who are these people? And not only that, I was responding, but it wasn't me. I was having conversations with somebody, but it wasn't me. And then I go look at my profile, and it wasn't me anymore. It's then showed that I was in Florida. My picture wasn't me anymore. It was some black dude, and like, and all the profile was like different information. Like it wasn't me anymore. So I just deleted the account.
That's crazy.
And I won't use Plenty of Fish again. So
he was the true Brack.
Besides that, though, having said that, identity theft, catfishing, right? Isn't that the same thing?
No. Catfishing, I think, is
well, because they're using other people's photos. So
actually,
isn't that you're pretending to be somebody else?
But I think catfish also falls under using like very old photos of yourself, like shit that you, you don't look like this anymore. You know?
Yes. That's a lesser degree, I guess. It's still you, but it's not you right now.
Yo, a black dude impersonating you is hilarious, son.
Well, I think that hack was purely, again, not targeted towards me. It was probably some program that just like sent some bot to like switch up my credentials.
This is how I feel inside.
Past fishing. Tokes stocks. Hey, Tokes, what's up? Oh, Tokes talks. Tokes talks, not Tokes
so yeah,
stocks.
she was the one that told me about the. She was the one that told me about the TikTok thing. Yeah.
What about the TikTok being more searched?
Like, yeah, you being used as like a most.
Tokes, when are you gonna come on the pod, man? Let's do it
engine.
Next week. Come on the pod.
What the hell is up with this?
It's time. Tokes needs to make she needs to be revealed to the world. Exposed. Broadcast. Anyway, that'd be cool. I think you should. We miss your voice. I remember. I don't really remember. That's why I need a refresher there. I need you to remind me of what your voice sounds like again. Well, let's look at Tokes Talks.
Oh, it's like midnight already. Holy shit.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. How about you? You asked me. Last one. Do you have any kind of identity theft examples?
Other than
Did you do anything in reaction to it? Are you doing anything maybe to try and avoid it?
Other than the license plate stuff, I haven't come across.
Oh, right.
I haven't been involved in any identity theft. Like, thank goodness.
If you were to come across an Instagram account that had your face in it, how would you feel?
I feel very violated because I think I try to. I know me personally. I always try to and I guess this is everyone. It's not really me personally because everyone does it. I always try to curate any representation of myself. You know, it's like very specific and very intentional. Put myself out there. So if I found someone doing that shit, I'd be super pissed. I would take action immediately.
Has your Facebook account ever been duplicated?
Nope.
Like, you know how sometimes you see that, right? Like, one of our friends will say on their wall, guys, if you get a message from me, don't click it, delete them and report them, whatever. So yeah, there's that where you click links, which automatically generates this new double account of yourself, and then it's a spam thing. It's some scam. But what if, rather than an Instagram pretending to be you, let's just say you develop a fan base where someone dedicates a page as a tribute to you. So it's just reposts of you and stuff.
That's a little different.
Is that an honor?
I don't know if it's an honor, but it's a bit more commonplace in terms of fan accounts. Fan accounts are a thing, right? And there's been artists I've worked with, and those artists have had fan accounts and have posted the shit that I did with the artist on it. I've still found it a little weird, but okay, well, cool. But if it's just they're just impersonating you, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
I get it happens a lot for girls, and I get why.
You do?
It's because it's if you take a girl's likeness and you post pictures that she may have on her page that other people don't necessarily know about, Like, good-looking women are always going to get a large. That's just facts, point blank,
Yeah.
period. Right? So you can use that and then subsequently end up monetizing somehow. So like that makes sense, but just like
There was this one account on OkCupid where this girl had a bunch of like really attractive photos, and it was just like, this girl has no need to be here, in my opinion. But there's some where you know why they're there, because they want followers and they give that off. But this one was coming off like they were genuinely looking, but then it just kind of didn't align with the way they looked. It's like, you don't need to be here. So eventually to the point where like, yeah, we're like exchanging messages, and I do the reverse Google search and I find the real one. I actually find the real, like the photos. She's definitely using someone else. And then I message the original, and then they're like, yeah, that's not me. Please report. I don't know what's going on. And it's happened multiple times. It's particularly on OkCupid, and Tinder not so much, I guess, because it's just, there's no point on Tinder.
Yo, I have a crazy story about like, yo, this is when I knew I would.
Sorry,
like,
you knew never what? You were blocking.
I would never like. Oh, sorry. I would never like DM another girl again. Well, I would, but like, just like
okay,
not a compromising situation. So I was on a dating app with someone, and they were like, we were just like talking, right? And then I saw them on Instagram, and like certain things weren't like matching up.
Okay.
And so I like messaged them on Instagram, and I'm like, hey, like blah 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 blah, and she's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, you know, I've just been like, I literally just messaged you like 20 minutes ago, and she's like, that's not me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. And then she screenshotted that DM with like my name and everything in it, and like posted that, and was like, hey y'all, someone on Instagram or someone on fucking Tinder is like pretending to be me. And this is me just like informing her, hey.
Yeah, that's not right. Like that's
just like,
I get shit. I mean, the girl that I told, she ended up also posting a story. Or like maybe a screenshot, not even a screenshot of our conversation, but I told her who it was, what platform it was, and I'm like, yeah, I'll report it for you. And she was thankful, and she again showed it on her story, but she didn't reveal me, because that's just, who would do like that? Was not cool. Whoever that girl was very inconsiderate and like not thinking up here, you know, like that's disrespectful.
I was just
Did you ask? Bruh. Did you ask her? Be like, hey, would you mind?
Oh, I didn't message. Listen, after that, I did not message her, because I was like, if I send this, she's gonna screenshot this. Yeah, no, that was a lesson.
Oh, interesting. Nah, I mean, I still would. To the greater good.
Yeah, because like I'm pretty sure we had like mutual followers and shit, and then it's just like fucking.
Oh,
awkward.
What?
Yeah, man.
Small world. The one I was that I informed, this girl was in the app local, like Toronto, but in real life she's in Australia. Like, and she was a big influencer on Instagram. Like, not big, sorry, but like she had several thousand followers, I'm sure. And like, you know, she's influencer. I'm sure she gets like paid, and she gets like you know, some sponsorships and stuff with various brands. But, you know, far enough where you wouldn't think to look, you know, based on photos, like and other ones too, man. Like they'll you know, I do this a lot now, because I'll ask immediately for Instagram, which some women, genuine women, will not have Instagram, and I believe that, and you can tell from their account. And then some women who might have an Instagram, but they're private about it and they don't want to give it right away, and that's fine. They give that off in their account. But some women, where their photos clearly are Instagram type of photos, you know that they're posted, but then they say they don't have Instagram, and you're like, yeah, really? And then they ask for WhatsApp, or they bring you off to another app, and then you're like, hey, yeah, do you have any other photos, just to, you know, is it really you? And then they'll send you more photos of the same other woman. They're probably taking from the official Instagram account. They're just screenshotting and then sending it to you, and they're pretending. They continue to pretend to be that person until you clue in and you do a reverse search. Yeah, reverse search for sure. Like, it's happened definitely more than once, more than a couple times.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know
fine. But at that point, I'm already like iffy about it. They're like, oh yeah, you don't have Instagram? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Like, these photos even look like they've been like edited on Instagram. Like, it's like it's so stupid. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I've personally never encountered that. Like, I've encountered like someone that uses maybe an very old photo, but not someone that's like an entirely different person. Oh wait, no, like other than that one incident. But yeah.
There was this one woman, I remember, I think she was like, at the time I was like younger 30s, and she said she was like 30. And I was like, you know what? Okay, I've seen this girl on multiple apps too, and she's like, I've been liked on all of these, on a number of the apps. So I'm like, you know what? Fine, let's just talk. Let's just chat with her. And then I think it's her. I think it is actually her, and she's like real. But then eventually you find out she's not 30, she's 40. And then, but the more you look, she might even be older than 40. And then that's when you start thinking catfish, whatever. So that was years ago, maybe 6 years ago.
Okay.
5. I still see the same person on some of these apps now. Same photos. Again, claiming to be 30, 31. Even though at that point I've already known the truth that she was over 40 and admitted it. But she's still continuing to, like, you know, put that out there. These like low quality, really shitty pixelated photos. And you're saying you're 30 and then you say you're 40. Anyway. So yeah, I mean, that's very commonplace, I think, now too.
So everything's a mess, yo. Everyone's just.
I'm not. Before I used to think like it gives off a bad vibe if you ask for social media right away. Oh, you just want to see more photos. You don't really care about who I am or whatever. But I think it's become so commonplace now where I don't hold back on that. Even if they think they might not want to share it right away. At least if they tell me they have one, I can respect the truthfulness there. But as soon as someone says, no, I don't use that, but it doesn't align with just the quality of their photos, it's like, doesn't make sense. It's like,
I wonder if now, like, okay, because you see how the metaverse is going to be a very stable way that we act. You know, conversations with other people, attending events and stuff like that. Like, what I'm hearing now is, if you, what's it called, the Oculus headgear thing, the VR thing, like, you can literally sit courtside at basketball games now.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
That's
like,
sick.
Son.
Yo, I would totally do that. I would just.
So it's like,
you have to subscribe and pay for that.
Experiences now are going to be so like different for us, and I start to wonder, like, if a lot of us are going to be at home now, and we're going to be on this like platform that's like the metaverse, and we will all have like avatars of ourselves, and then at some point the technology is going to get to the point where we will be able to have real-time sensations and reactions in this digital platform, just like through some sort of like interface.
Matrix, yeah.
It really won't matter what we look like outside. You know,
at that point, if it's
at that point in time,
if it's not even commonplace, but it's like that is the standard, that is the regular day. Yeah, man. Like, it's like, will there even be need for genetic engineering? You know, like, for you know what I mean by that? Like, because people are like talking about that. I think was it you who mentioned
both
like
things are going to be true. Both things are going to be true.
Yeah, I can see genetic engineering more for like a health perspective, but like there was a aesthetic appeal to genetic engineering at one point, like height and like
fertility or whatever.
Yeah, or even just like facial structure and stuff, or like color of the hair and like skin type but I mean it reminds me now of the I think it was called Gamer with Gerard Butler. Yeah, right, where yeah. Well, not just that guy, but the other movie, Ready Player One. Is it Ready Player One? Where you have these users who don't look anything like their avatars, but they have their persona in the game, but that is the persona in the game is what's important, right?
Yeah.
Even like Free Guy too, like, yeah. So then you're right, it won't even matter what we look like outside. It won't even matter if you're transgender, let's say. You don't even have to do any actual surgery. You could just like look the way you want in the game, you know. Yeah. Bruce Jenner would just be Caitlyn in the game, you know. He didn't have to actually change it in real life.
Okay, I see what you mean now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bruh, that's the future, yo. That's where we're all headed.
Yeah, I see it. I see it for sure. And then at some, I think at some point too, because of that, like what will look like all on the outside will all be the same. It'll all look like this being with, like, you know, pale, no hair, skinny, long, big head, like the alien look. Like we're all gonna evolve to that because that's all we're using. We're only using our brains, so you know we might not even have like big eyes like they have like there, but it'll just be bigger heads, skinny bodies, pale skin because we never see the sun. You know? Yeah. Man,
we're doomed, yo.
Like Matrix.
We're doomed.
Albinos.
We're gonna be digital. We're gonna be digital creatures.
No, but I can also see that as like, if that's what it ends up being, but the world survives and the humanity survives that way and thrives. I mean, whatever, man. Like that's what it'll be. It's like how we used to look at, like, you know, Stone Age. You know, like those like early civilizations who are like so basic in their living. You know, they still like crouch around and they didn't really have clothes and they like ate raw meat and shit. We used to think that's barbaric. They're gonna look back at us and they're gonna think we're barbaric. They're gonna think like we're like the Mongols or something, or, you know, like we're so basic.
Yeah. I guess like, yeah, I guess when you put it that way. But I guess my counter to that would be like, I consider that holistic now. Like if you look at a lot of like holistic treatments and stuff like that, it's shit motherfuckers have been doing for like, you know, hundreds, thousands of years. Yeah. So in some sense that there is still a very human element to that. I just think with the advent of technology now we're in a different paradigm. Now it's like, this is very uncharted territory, you know? So.
Well, what do you think about, like, because I never really understood the specialness of Dune, the movie Dune, like that universe, you know, where they removed AI. Like AI was not allowed to exist in the universe anymore because they wanted to, like, embrace the human existence, like and human like power on its own. Yeah. Do you think it could ever reach that? Like, I feel like that would have to come after the digital age. It would have to come after the digital age, when it's supposed to be like post Matrix era, you know, like.
That's a good question, man. I
Star Wars
that reaction to like some sort of catastrophe that happened because of like too much artificial intelligence. You know, if that's why they enacted that, or if because they were able to recognize, yo, this could get bad, and they just preemptively stopped it.
I watched this video recently about digital machines and analog machines. And we've reached a point now where our digital technology is, our transistor is basically the size of an atom. And you can't get smaller than that. So if you can't get smaller than that, we can't increase any further productivity in this manner.
Transistor, what is that?
Oh, like inside your CPU, your computer chip. Like,
oh, okay.
The thing like that makes our processor all the calculations ones and zeros. Those are there's like, I guess, hundreds of thousands of transistors in a processor, which then makes up the core, and then the core makes up multiple cores make up the CPU, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hold on 15 seconds.
Someone's at his door. I'm assuming. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this up soon, guys. thank you for tuning in, chilling with us. If you have any comments, for sure, feel free. It's been a cool chill session. Okay, so I was just saying that transistors are reaching a point where they're the size of atoms. Where basically, the smaller you make it, the more efficient you can make this technology. So that's why we're getting more powerful computers in such a small form factor, and it doesn't, consume as much energy. It doesn't give off as much heat. But we're reaching a point where the return of getting smaller and smaller is gonna stop. So apparently there's gonna be a shift maybe back to analog technology. But it takes a little bit more like innovation to figure that out, because it's like in a physical realm rather than just computational. It's rather than relying on computational AI, it's based on like physical calculations, mechanical calculations. It's interesting. Anyway. All right, that was a cool one. Any final thoughts? Any like warnings for the people out there?
Yeah, man, stop fucking scanning your face on Instagram, and Snapchat.
Oh, last thing, have you made a Bitmoji before?
I have, but
All
someone
right,
made
so
it.
it's too late.
Someone
Well,
made it
also,
for-
so they didn't even look at your face. You didn't like have to look in the camera to make your Bitmoji.
They just, I don't know. It's not like super to my likeness. It just has like an earring and like my beard shape, so it doesn't like look like me.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think the first Bitmojis was you get to kind of pick. But
Yeah, that's
eventually
what I have.
now they take photos and they'll generate like a base for you that you can then alter. But yeah, there's a database of your face already for sure. Like, I'm sure.
Man.
Yeah.
Yo, when all that shit was happening, I would just avoid cameras, and then it wouldn't even recognize my face because I wore glasses.
You know what?
So
What creeped me out the other day? I was watching a YouTube video, and in the YouTube video, a name was mentioned, like a full name. I would then open a Google search to look up the name, and as I just start typing the first 3 letters, the whole name shows up because I was just watching that video. And that creeped me out a little bit. I was like, did I say it out loud? Like, did Google hear me or something? But like, nah, it was just got to be some hashtag or whatever it's called, like the what are they called? Cookies? It must have been cookies that were like attached to that. Creeped me out.
everything's
Sufficient.
I
get it. Yeah.
I was on Instagram this week, and I was just mindlessly scrolling through like reels.
Yeah.
And I got on a reel of this guy's face. And in the reel, the guy was just talking. All of a sudden, his whole fucking face just opened up, and there was like a machine behind it.
Oh, wait,
I nearly
what?
threw my phone outside of the fucking window. Because it was like some like Snapchat filter shit, right?
Okay.
But it was so uncanny valley
Yeah.
that it fucked with me, yo. And I'm noticing now a lot of these facial effects have a very uncanny
reaction to them. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you've had that experience, but
Not so much yet.
Some of these
okay with it.
filters are scaring me, yo. Like, it's scary. Like he was just talking normally, and then his face just like literally just split open.
Yeah.
And there was like machinery behind it. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyways.
You're resistant. All right, man. But yeah, that was cool. That was, more of a chill conversation. I'm not really sure if we have any kind of message or kind of advice out there. Be careful, I understand that when you're using any of these filters, like you're putting your information out there, your data out there, potentially at risk for you to have some sort of identity theft. Deepfake will probably become more of a commonplace thing. It won't be called deepfake. It'll just be called a filter. But yeah, thanks guys. Check us out next week again, Thursdays, 10 p.m. We'll meet here, just talk about some cool stuff, controversial stuff, political stuff, whatever it is. Come up with an idea for next week. We'll see you guys next week. And yeah, thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching.
Laters.
See you guys later.